Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ada, and as I promised in the last video, today we're going to make something together. So I'm going to be giving a tutorial on how to make a Fransu Christmas ornament. If you don't know anything about Finland, I am from here, and the Fransu is a traditional lace knotting technique that is mostly done here. So I decided to try a new technique, and I have been practicing doing this, and I have to say the first ones were not really good, but I think that now I am approaching the finesse that I want to achieve. So from the 1700s onwards, we know that the Fransu technique has spread all over the country, but it has stayed more concentrated, especially in the regions of Pohjanmaa. So Pohjois-Pohjanmaa, Keski-Pohjanmaa and Etelä-Pohjanmaa. In the 17 and 1800s, it was expected for new brides to make their own bed linens and tablecloths and all kinds of textiles that you will need when you start your new life as a wife. The brides were expected to knot themselves some Fransu linens, big bed linens that have a Fransu border all around. And usually these Fransu linens were made by the bride themselves or by a relative, but it has been known that in the 1800s especially there were professional Fransu knotters in Pohjanmaa. The Fransu linens were used in celebrations. When a child was born into the family and baptized, most likely the child was wrapped in a Fransu linen in the christening ceremony. Fransus were used in bridal ceremonies, and one beautiful example is a Morsius taivas, translated to bridal heaven. And finally, when there was a death in the family, the Fransu linen was usually used in the burial ceremony. But after this, in the 1900s, it became unpopular to make Fransu, and this was after the World Wars, so somewhere in the mid-1900s. Many Fransu linens were discarded by the families or put in storage and not used anymore. Before the tutorial, I'll now explain some basic things about the structure and the technique of making one. So you'll use two kinds of knots. You'll use knot A, which is shown here, and you'll use knot B, which is shown here. These are the only kinds of knots you'll use. And the Fransu has many different motifs that you can make with these knots to make your own pattern. So the most simple one, the basic one, is when you knot tight, tiheää in Finnish, and it looks like this. Then there is ikkuna, which translates to window, and it's like tight, but the diamond shapes are bigger. Then there is säärirati and hammasrati, which look a bit similar, but säärirati uses the knot A and 2 strands, and hammasrati uses the knot B and 4 or more strands. Then we have the more complicated one. We have a star, which uses multiple strands to make a kind of star shape, and the knot B. And the most prominent feature of Fransu is a tassel. So every Fransu will end with a tassel or multiple ones. So when you see lace in Finland, if it has many tassels, it's most likely Fransu lace. So I think we can go on to the tutorial. And next I'll show you what equipment you'll need, and then we can start. The first thing you'll need is a good pair of scissors. Then the most important part, the thread. You'll also need a measure to measure out the thread. And finally, one needle for making the tassels at the end. The first step in making a Fransu is to cut our thread. So we'll need 10 75 cm long pieces of thread for this Fransu. When those are ready, you can set them aside and take another piece of thread. Now you would be wrapping your thread around your konkari, but as I don't have one, I'll wrap the thread around a chair back. You can also use chair legs or table legs. Next up is knotting the 10 individual pieces to the hearth thread. So make the knots very tightly so they won't slip as you go on. When you have knotted all the 10 pieces, you are ready to start. The first knot we'll make is the knot A. So you leave the first thread from the left hanging and take the two next. The knot A is made with the leftmost thread of the tool that you are holding. I'm doing it very slowly here, so look at my fingers and how they grab the thread from under the other and pull it through the loop. Then it's time to tighten the knot. Hold the thread between your index finger and thumb while you are tightening so that the yarn doesn't slip. When you get the first knot done, continue through the row and always do the knots the same way, in the same direction from left to right. Here I am showing you once again it very slowly how to pick up the thread and how it's easy to tighten. It's very important to keep the knot still until you tighten it fully, otherwise it will slip and your Fransu will not look even. When you have finished the first row with this knot A, start the second row. Try to keep your tension even and feel what kind of style works for you. As long as the knot itself is the same, you can modify your hand movements. Continue working the knot A until you have 4 rows of it. Now we learn a new motif. This is called harayu. We will use the same knot A to do it, but now we'll leave the knot legs a bit longer so that they form another motif. So you see here, I'm leaving the legs much longer before I'm tightening the knot. Do this for every 2 neighbor yarns and remember to keep the legs the same height as you go on in the row. After doing the whole row of harayu, you'll continue knotting the knot A in a tight. In Finland we say you knot tiheää, which means just that you knot tight. This is what your Fransu should look like at this point. Now we'll be doing another motif with another knot. So this is hammasrati. You'll take 4 threads and use knot B. So knot B is done from the right side. So it's very similar to knot A, but the direction is different. So you'll take the rightmost thread and knot it around the other threads. In hammasrati, it's also important that you keep the legs the same length between those 4 threads. Continue knotting hammasrati on this row and remember to keep the motifs the same size across the row. After finishing the row, in this next row you'll knot the hammasrati together with the knot A. So as you see in the picture, I am taking every neighbor threads and knotting them with the knot A so that the upside and downside of the hammasrati are symmetrical. After that, your fransu should look like this. Now we'll continue with knot A, so do 2 rows of plain knot A. When you are at this point, we'll start making the star motif. So, as you see from the video, I have done tight until I reach the middle, where I leave the 2 middle strands unknotted. Then I continue knotting tight, and as I approach the middle again, I will leave the middle strands unknotted and put them with the 2 other. We'll do this one more time so that you have 6 middle strands unknotted. Remember that after you have put the middle strands away, you still have to knot the right side, as I am showing in this clip. Now that we have finished the tight, we can take the middle strands again into our work, and soon you'll see the star forming. So when you have 6 strands in the middle, you'll pick the rightmost strand and you start with knotting the knot B. As you tighten the knot, you'll want to keep every leg of the star even so that the finished result will be symmetrical. This is what your fransu should look like at this point. Now we'll continue with the bottom part of the star, and this you will make just with the knot A and knotting tight. Start by knotting together the leftmost leg of the star with the rightmost thread of the left side of the fransu. Connect also the rightmost leg of the fransu to the base by knotting it with knot A. Continue knotting with the knot A, so connect all the legs of the star to the base. After finishing the first star, we're going to do 2 more after it. So as you see from the clip, I have done it the same way as the first one. So I'll first knot the 6 strands in the middle with the knot B. Then I'll start connecting the legs of the star to the base of the Fransu. After connecting the legs of the stars to the base, you'll fill in the center by using the knot A, so that you will get all the threads to the same row. Do tight in the gaps until your Fransu looks like this. Now you are ready to make the first tassels, so we are almost done. Take the 4 leftmost threads in your work and knot them together with the knot B. After that, take the 4 rightmost threads and again knot them together with the knot B. Next I'll show you how to make a tassel. I used a crochet hook for pulling the thread through, but you don't have to use a crochet hook, you can do it by hand. So I'm pulling the thread through the loop twice. This allows me to do a bigger tassel while I have only 3 strands to work with. Use knot B to secure the tassel in place. I usually do it at least 3 times. After making the knots, you can take your needle and use the needle to weave the thread into the knot so that the knot will stay in place. When the knot is secured, you can cut the threads and your tassel is ready. Now, we want our last and biggest tassel to taper down, which is why we have to carry the outermost threads downwards. So instead of making tight with only 2 strands, you'll carry the outermost thread with 2 other. So the left and the right knots are made with 3 strands. This is what you should have at this point. We'll continue tapering down to the center, so we'll make the left and rightmost knots with more and more threads as we go downwards. When you have tapered down this far, you'll make a final big knot and start making the big tassel. This time I won't use a crochet hook, but just pull the thread with my hand through the opening, like so, and then secure the tassel with once again knot B. Then we grab our needle and secure the knot by weaving in the end. Cut the threads open and your tassel is once again ready. After that you can cut the heart thread and your Fransu is almost done. For a finishing touch, I will make the heart thread into a cord. This way it's easy to hang up the ornament on its own. Then I'll cut the tassels to shape and steam block the Fransu. And now our Fransu is ready. You can use this as a Christmas ornament or bookmark or whatever you like. I had so much fun doing this, and like and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you in the next one.